Hi dolls, welcome back to my channel. This is Ebony Nikita, the Dominican Princess, and today I'll be sharing with you dolls my weekly feminine habits. These for me have been pretty instrumental and just really staying within my femininity consistently, and to me that really is my biggest goal. It's all about self-improvement, and I feel like if you're on your femininity journey, whether you're just starting, you're looking to make some self-improvements like I am, or if you feel like you just need a really good reset, these weekly habits can be really good building blocks to help you get there. And in my previous homemaking vlog, I did share one of my weekly habits and it felt really good, and so I'll have that vlog linked down below. If you're new here, I post every week on femininity, elegance, fashion, and homemaking, so be sure to subscribe to me down below. And dolls, let's get started with my very first tip of my weekly habits. Before I share it, let me just give you dolls a sneak peek. We are going to be talking about feminine habits that benefit us internally and then also externally. So please do not think this is going to be a one-noted type of weekly habits thing. These are things that I've looked at myself and said, okay, what is it that I need to do to help me feel, look 100%, but most importantly, feel 100%. All right, dolls, let's go ahead and get started with the very first one. The very first one is like the strongest part of the foundation. I typically do this twice a week, if not then once a week, but I take time to actually sit down and do this, and I ask myself, what can I do to make myself happy? Imagine if like a man asked you that like every single day of your life. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, well, what can you do for me? But no, like we have to ask ourselves this, okay? That's a beautiful, but you actually have to sit down and ask yourself this. What can make me happy this week? If I go to the Dior store, that would make me super happy. Or if I go out to eat at this super fancy restaurant, that'll make it doesn't have to be that. It can be that, but it doesn't have to be that. Sometimes it's just like if I actually do not do like my evening homemaking tasks, or if I only do one of them tonight, that's going to make me really happy because physically I feel exhausted. So if I just cannot have to worry about that tonight, that would actually make me really, really happy. This is a time to where you sit down, and sometimes I pull out my planner, sometimes I pull out the notes in my phone because I actually use both. Now this is why I'm saying just don't think it. It's because when you think something, a thought pops up in your head in some way, shape, or form, it's not repeated. Sometimes it could just be in one ear, out the next. If you know what I mean, in your head, out the next. You forget, you put it off, so on and so forth. But when you write it down, you're repeating it again. It doesn't have to be 15 minutes, but just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, sit down and just say, you know what would actually make me happy this week? As if I get my finances sorted out. Twice a week, if not daily. And when I'm able to pinpoint what I can do today or this week to make myself happier, and I actually make a plan to do so, it gives you a mental relief. Then I'm able to put more positive energy into other parts of my life. All right, dolls, my next feminine weekly habit that I have is a huge one for me, and that's making sure that I stick to my beauty routine, okay? My weekly beauty routine, mainly more so maintenance. Typically it's a Sunday because I have the most time, and sometimes it's really more so of a self-care night, to where you focus on your outward appearance. This makes a difference because I can refresh my hair every 2 or 3 days or so. But when I do it like once a week, typically I feel it, okay? Because I feel it, and it's not the best feeling, okay? Or when my nails are not done, That's kind of like one of my pet peeves. Sometimes I could feel like a little frustrated because I'm like, oh, I have like a dark spot here and I want it to go away and it's not going. Well, I haven't been using the product that I bought for it, so like how is it supposed to go away? You know what I mean? How is it supposed to go away that quickly? But if I stick to this schedule, then maybe I could start seeing improvements in this way. And so when it comes to beauty self-care, having that weekly, it could be anything from doing your hair, mani-pedis, it can be at-home grooming, or actually planning out my wretched at-home wash days, you know, like actually making sure it's not like in the middle of like a Saturday afternoon to where the rest of my day is just kind of like ruined because I'm like, oh gosh, I have to finish doing this or else I can't go anywhere. Why is it important other than just physical gratification or feeling pretty? You know, oh, it's all about feeling pretty. When you look good and you feel like you look good, or at least presentable, you have this confidence about you. If you have certain things that helps you feel feminine, that you've pinpoint, or helps you feel confident, do those things. There are certain things that you can do, like this here to me, like when I don't, you know, that's something that's a bit more personal. We all have preferences. All right, dolls, my next weekly feminine habit would have to be my feminine hobbies. I want you to list right now 3 of your feminine hobbies that you do, if not daily, if not weekly, monthly. Okay? They all don't have to be weekly feminine habits. Some of them can be monthly. But I want you to list them down below. Okay? Because especially if you're a doll, and I pretty much know everyone who comments on my channel because I recognize your name and your picture and all. I dare you because I want to know, I want to see and be honest. Be honest. Do you make time for at least one of your feminine hobbies every single week? Now, if you're like, ooh, maybe bi-weekly, maybe I would, but I can't do this every single week. It's this type of thing. That's why it's important for you to have weekly feminine hobbies, dearie. Because what you're talking about is a monthly feminine habit, or one that you do a couple times out of the month, a bi-weekly feminine. But you need a weekly, something that you can do that is sustainable. I am going to do a new video on feminine hobbies, but you need to make sure that you have a weekly one. Throughout my vlogs, I always show mine because these are things that I do throughout my week that they're just normal for me. The only thing that I really have to do, sometimes they're buying flowers so I can make my floral arrangement. They're not big deals to me. You know what I mean? Because they're just there, I do it, and sometimes I don't even think about it. Sometimes the only time that I think about it is when I'm like, oh, I should film this for my vlog. It should be easily folded into your weekly schedule. These weekly habits, they're not meant to be burdens. They're not meant to another thing on your to-do list. They're not meant to be that. These are supposed to help you feel good. These are supposed to help you stay within your femininity and grow within that and feel happier and more fulfilled and keep on adding things into your positivity bucket. Okay? So you have to view things that way, and that's what I want to not stress but implore. Okay, so let's explore the next tip. You love it. Okay, so next one of my weekly feminine habits that I really do love doing is just getting out and having a me day. It can be going to the museum, going to a cafe, planning, or just relaxing with a friend, having lunch, or just by myself, just making it a vintage shopping plus coffee at a cute cafe type of day, almost romanticizing my day. That's important. It's just like this sigh of relief, of reality but escapism at the same time. When I watch Sex and the City, or if I watch Gossip Girl, if I watch Girlfriends, There's like these little moments that I always love in the abundance of those shows. The character's just there and she's just sitting alone and she's just taking time for herself. She's going to the store and she's just, something leisurely. Making time for a leisurely activity where either you're combining one of your self-care habits, like I do, like planning, and trying out a new cafe, something fun with something that's a bit more intentional. It gets me out of my box. It gets me into a new environment. It's a reset. It's refreshing to me to just be in a different space, to try something new, to treat myself. And you can always meet new people. You can always, try out a new dish or try out a new drink or, make it into a little adventure. And this is about romanticizing your life. Why not? It doesn't have to be like, oh, you're making it into this huge thing, but it's like, no, this was something cool. This was something different that I experienced. Something else that I don't know why, but I just felt like a little emotional before I even said this. What's going on? But something that I try to do weekly. I wish I could do it every single day and mean it every single day, but I do try to be actually meaningful when it comes to this, and that's speaking confidently to myself. Whether it comes to a task that I'm doing or just everyday things or an everyday conversation with someone else, speaking confidently about myself. I avoid saying things because I don't want to come off as boastful. I know, like, sometimes I joke around. I don't know if you'd also catch that. I don't want to seem boastful or like I'm being like cocky or I'm like self-absorbent and I like to inflate myself. Sometimes I avoid saying things even when it's not necessary. Like, it's like, no, say it. And I have to try to remind myself to say it because I'm speaking about my capabilities in a confident way. I'm not speaking doubtfully about myself. And I did do a video, how to have feminine confidence and how to speak femininely. That's a different video, but I've done a video on that, and sometimes I could just be a bit more shy and a bit more humble about things, and say to myself, if I have not already throughout the week, I'm good at this. Just say it. You are good at it. You're not saying that you're the best. You're not saying that, oh yeah, I'm all right. No, I'm good at this. I'm great at this, period. Or I've been doing this for X amount of years, period. It's a statement. It's truthful. You're not being boastful. You're not, you know what I mean? It's a fact. It's a fact. You meet industry standards, okay? And sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to say this because I don't want to feel like I'm being boastful. I don't want to be, I don't want someone to perceive me that way. But that's caring too much about what other people think to where you're not even able to just say, I'm good at A, B, C, and D. But then you're so quick to say, oh, well, I'm bad at 1, 2, and 3. And it's not a problem saying that because I'm relatable and we're all bad at things. We're also all good at some things, okay? So I try to tell myself to speak confidently about myself, either when I'm just having everyday conversations with someone else. Speak confidently about yourself. You're watering this beautiful rose. Do so. Be diligent. There's nothing wrong with that. I shouldn't be afraid of someone trying to zoom in on me and pick me apart and try, like, oh no, I don't want to say that I'm good at putting on makeup or else someone's going to try to zoom in on my winged eyeliner and find it imperfect. I never said I was a makeup artist. I never said I was the best makeup girl who doesn't have a makeup. I never said any of it. All I said is that I know how to do my makeup and I'm good at it, I can speak that to myself and be perfectly fine. Sometimes it's just looking at myself physically and just saying, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous, I love this part of me. You know what? What's something that someone always compliments me on? They're right, they're being truthful, and I'm seeing it too. And that's the most important part, that I think this about myself. That's something that I try to do, because 100 things can happen in a day, 1,000 things can happen in a week, okay? And you can't depend on other people to constantly, I don't know why men think I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes men, like, oh, I tell you you're beautiful every day. It's like, it's 3 p.m. and I haven't gotten that text. I haven't heard it today in 3 p.m. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I haven't heard you say that today yet. It's not a truthful statement. It's not accurate. You don't have 100% so far. You know what I mean? But, you know, you have to water yourself and you have to believe it in yourself. And again, with that comes confidence. And it just becomes repeated, almost like a tune, right? That builds up your confidence, you know? And other than that, sometimes it could just be like reminding myself, you know what, Ebony, you've done this before. And I've literally had someone, you know, it's like, oh, you want to do that? What? That's a lot of work. I don't know, you know, are you sure you would be able to? I don't know what was wrong with me, but I was actually like, okay, you know, yeah, I'll think about it. Then one day it just clicked. I was like, I've already done this before. This isn't something that's new to me. I've done it before. I've done it with less resources that I have than right now. Okay, now I have more. So if I was able to do it, you know, 5 years ago back then, why in the world wouldn't I be able to do it right now? There's nothing that I can actually say that actually has a stance. So remind yourself, like, you know what? I've done A, B, C, and D before, so I could definitely do this. That's speaking confidently into yourself. Or I've done something similar like this before, so I'm able to do. You're capable, and you have to remind yourself. Build yourself up. Just sprinkling little seeds of confidence and self-care throughout my week can truly make a difference. I feel more empowered. I feel more driven. I feel more confident. And those are all qualities that makes up a feminine woman. And for me and my personal femininity goals, that helps me get there. Okay, when I'm thinking about me being my best self, the feminine woman of my dreams, let me know down below what was your favorite tip. Let me know if something here that I've shared with you dolls really resonated with you, or something that you connect with, or something that you're currently going through or just got over. And I'm just so happy to be sharing this video with you dolls and connecting with you. I feel emotional. I don't know why I feel emotional. But if you're new here, I do post every week on femininity, elegance, fashion, and homemaking dolls. We do have an upcoming homemaking vlog, my soft living vlog. And when I talk about soft living, it has to do with self-care and femininity and just living an intentionally elegant lifestyle. That's something that's important to me because, again, I think, how can I make my life better? What can I do right now to make my life better? And so I hope that you dolls can take at least one of these weekly feminine habits and either kick it up a notch or just add something new, try out something new. Alright dolls, let me know what video you want to see next, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye dolls.